Have you ever felt like you're walking in circles in your own life? You put in the effort, you have good intentions, but you keep ending up in the same place, the same draining friendships, the same anxious thought patterns, the same feeling of quiet dissatisfaction. You might blame yourself, your willpower, or your circumstances. But the great psychologist Carl Jung discovered a deeper truth. He realized that the human mind is like a vast, invisible labyrinth, and most of us are wandering through its passages without a map. Within this labyrinth are hidden chambers, psychological environments that feel normal, even comfortable, but are designed to trap our energy and keep us small. Today, we are not here to judge ourselves for getting lost. We are here to find the map. We will explore 8 of these dangerous chambers of the mind. By learning to recognize the room you are in, you gain the power to find the exit. This is your guide to navigating the labyrinth and reclaiming the freedom that lies at its center. 1. The room where everyone agrees with you. The first and most seductive trap is a beautiful, comfortable room where every voice is a perfect echo of your own. In this chamber, your beliefs are always validated, your biases are always confirmed, and you are always surrounded by people who agree with you. It feels like community, but it is a gilded cage for your mind. The ancient philosopher Socrates was famous for being a gadfly. He would sting the people of Athens with questions, forcing them to examine their unthinking beliefs. He knew that a mind that is never challenged cannot grow. In the chamber of echoes, your critical thinking slowly starves. You lose the ability to understand different perspectives, and your compassion for those who disagree with you withers. Think of a social media feed perfectly tailored to your outrage, or a friend group where any dissenting opinion is met with silence or scorn. You feel a sense of belonging, but you are becoming intellectually and emotionally fragile, unprepared for a world that is not an echo of yourself. 2. The hall, where you compare yourself to everyone. The next chamber is a vast, dazzling hall lined with mirrors. But these are not normal mirrors. Each one reflects back not your own image, but the polished, successful, and happy image of someone else. In this hall, your own worth is constantly measured against the curated highlights of others' lives. This is the psychological engine of modern anxiety. As the French philosopher René Girard observed, we rarely desire things on our own. We learn to desire what others have, creating a constant state of rivalry. Think about this. You finally achieve a goal you've worked on for months. You finish a creative project or get a promotion. You feel a moment of pride. But then you enter the Hall of Mirrors by opening your phone. You see someone else's bigger promotion, their more exotic vacation. Instantly, your achievement feels small and hollow. You have stopped running your own race and are now competing in a million imaginary races against people who aren't even aware of you. The only prize for winning this game is a profound disconnection from your own authentic joy. 3. The stage where you have to wear a mask. This is the chamber where you are both the actor and the prisoner. It is the space where authenticity is punished, and you are rewarded only for a flawless performance. It's the workplace where you must hide your doubts behind a mask of confidence, or the family where you must play the role of the perfect child. Jung called this mask the persona. He knew it was a necessary tool, but it becomes a prison when we forget we're wearing it. On the gilded stage, the performance is everything. Think of the perfect parent you see online, with a spotless home and impeccably behaved children. To maintain this facade, they must hide the messy, exhausting, and often frustrating reality of parenthood. They receive applause and admiration, but it comes at the cost of their own truth. The tragedy of this chamber is that you feel profoundly alone, even when you're receiving a standing ovation. The applause isn't for you, it's for the character you are playing. 4. The glass house, where no one talks about real feelings. This chamber can look like the most peaceful place of all. It is a beautiful, pristine house where everything is in its right place, but the walls are made of thin, fragile glass. In this house, difficult emotions are forbidden. Anger is a threat. Sadness is a weakness. Problems are swept under the rug to maintain the illusion of perfect harmony. This is the space of silent suffering. Your real feelings don't disappear just because they're unspoken. They fester. Jung knew that this repressed emotional energy would always find a way out, as anxiety, as depression, as a quiet, inexplicable emptiness. Imagine a family has a rule that we don't fight. When a real issue arises, everyone pretends it isn't happening. The peace is kept, but the cost is intimacy. The family members live together like polite, lonely ghosts in a beautiful glass house, terrified that one true word might shatter the entire structure. 5. The storm of distraction. This chamber is the opposite of the glass house. It is a loud, chaotic, and endlessly stimulating storm. It's the 24/7 news cycle, the infinite scroll of social media, the podcast in your ears while you walk, the video playing while you eat. We tell ourselves we are staying informed, but we are often running from the one thing we fear most, a quiet moment with our own thoughts. The philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote a truth centuries ago that perfectly describes our modern condition. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Let's say you have a difficult decision to make. Instead of sitting with the discomfort and thinking it through, you numb yourself. You binge watch a show, scroll for hours, or fill your schedule until you're too exhausted to think. The storm of distraction offers temporary relief, but it robs you of the very thing you need to solve your problems, your own inner wisdom. 6. The desert where you forget your own needs. This is the chamber where you consistently give away your own water to others, leaving yourself to die of thirst. It is the space of self-abandonment where you systematically say yes to others and no to yourself. You stay in the draining relationship, you take on the extra work, you silence your own needs to be seen as nice or selfless. This is not a virtue, it is a slow form of self-erasure. With each small act of self-betrayal, the landscape of your inner world becomes more barren. Your own passions, desires, and dreams wither away from a lack of attention. Imagine someone asks you what you want for dinner. You say, "Oh, whatever you want is fine." Not because you're easygoing, but because you genuinely haven't consulted your own desires in so long that you can't hear them anymore. You have become a stranger to yourself. 7. The museum, where you relive old pains. This is a quiet, dusty, and beautiful chamber where you are the sole curator. The exhibits are your past hurts, your betrayals, your resentments, all perfectly preserved behind glass. You walk these halls every day, polishing the displays, rereading the plaques, and keeping the pain of the past perfectly alive in your present. The wisdom of Buddhism teaches that the root of suffering is attachment or clinging. In this museum, you are clinging to your own pain. You believe that holding onto your grievances is a way of holding the people who hurt you accountable. But they are not the ones in the museum. You are. They have moved on, while you have chosen to build a beautiful, tragic monument to your own suffering. Releasing these grievances is not about letting them win, It is about you finally choosing to walk out of the museum and back into the sunlight of your own life. 8. The sunken vault, where you hide from yourself. The final and most profound chamber exists deep within you. It is the vault where you have locked away the most powerful, beautiful, and sometimes dangerous parts of yourself that you were taught to fear or be ashamed of. Your righteous anger, your wild creativity, your profound vulnerability, your unapologetic ambition. Jung called this the shadow. He taught that what we bury does not die. It gains power in the darkness. It is the source of your self-sabotage, your irrational outbursts, and your repeating destructive patterns. But here is the secret. That vault does not just hold your monsters. It also holds your greatest treasures. Your repressed anger, once consciously integrated, becomes the passionate fuel to protect your boundaries. Your hidden vulnerability becomes the source of profound empathy and connection. The journey to freedom requires descending into this vault, not with judgment, but with the lantern of curiosity, ready to reclaim the treasure you have hidden from yourself. These 8 chambers are not your fate. They are patterns, and the moment you see a pattern, you are no longer a prisoner of it. In the Greek myth, Ariadne gave Theseus a simple thread to help him find his way out of the great labyrinth. For you, the thread is your own conscious awareness. The journey out is a process of asking new questions. Does this conversation expand my mind, or does it merely echo it? Am I acting from my authentic self, or from a performance? Is this silence peaceful, or is it empty? Am I honoring my own needs? This is the work of a lifetime. It is the slow, steady, and courageous process of becoming the architect of your own inner world. You thought these places were just how life is. But now you have the map. You can see the walls, and you can see the doors. The only question left is, will you have the courage to walk through them?